Oh, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Tam Talks. So I'm here sitting in my spot by the water and I'm in Southern Ontario and it is July, I'm trying to think what date it is, 16th today? 17th? 16th? Anyways, this will roll out tomorrow. So there are tons of forest fires up in Northern Ontario, but we are experiencing extremely poor air qualities. Like I'm looking over, there's a person fishing over there and he has a mask on. So this won't be super long because I am here with my windows down. Actually, I'm gonna open this one. But it's extremely smoky and all the things. But this is what made me think about it, is the power of intention. So I was thinking last night, I was just kind of like, what can I do? Like, what can we do to help, people who we're only getting the kind of like the fires are, if we were to drive up, I think it's like a 10-hour drive north. Like it's far from us. And the effects of the smoke here are insane. So I can't even imagine being in the thick of it. Like our smoke air quality levels have been at an 11, ranging from I think 7 to 11 for more than 24 hours now. So I can't imagine, and I think the scale only goes to 11, so I can't imagine how they would measure up there when you are in the thick of it. So anyways, I thought yesterday I put a little video up on Instagram and just invited people to take a pause. So I'm going to invite you to do the same thing, because the power of, you can hear my voice, right? So the power of intention is very, very powerful. And taking a pause every few minutes, when I think, I just kind of kept putting the intention of like, let's just bring rain, just rain, just put the fires out. So having an intention of sending love, sending healing, sending peace, sending energy, all of these emergency workers and the families of the emergency workers who aren't hearing from them, or who are, and they're just, having these really long shifts, and people, it's a lot. So I encourage you to take a pause. And as many times as you can, whether you're from Ontario or not, and you can do this at any time for any person, any place, any event that's happening. You can simply close your eyes and think of that, the focus of your, sorry, that's my water making weird sounds. The focus of your intention that you want to send love, healing, light, whatever you want to send. You can do that anytime. So you could send it to anywhere on this planet, anywhere off this planet. It doesn't ever hurt, and you can never do it too much. Just keep sending it, because the other side of it is, when there's so many people focusing so much energy. I was talking about this, actually, I don't know if I was talking about it or I was just thinking about it. When we think about, I used to be a Christian. I used to do all the things and pray and all of that. And when you really drill down, like meditation, prayer, you're pausing, you're thinking of something. I feel like, if you're praying for other people, it's very similar. You're sending them that intention. You're asking for help to go to that person, regardless of who you're asking it from. Your personal intention is for their greatest and highest good. So, it doesn't have to be denominational or non-denominational. Like, just send the love, send the focus, send the intention. So I want to share a little bit of a story. I'm not going to do all the details. I actually found the piece of writing that I did. I think it was 8 years ago. It was 8 years ago. And it was the power of intention. Actually, I have two stories now that I think of it. Anyways, okay, so the first story was, 8 years ago, my boys were young, 8 and 10, 11. Anyways, so I remember I went for an eye doctor's appointment, and they said, because I was having kind of these weird headaches, and I'm not a headachy person. You know how some people just get headaches, that's their thing. I don't get headaches. So I was like, this is weird. So I think it was like, oh, I'll just get my eyes checked because I feel like maybe I need glasses or something like that. So I go in, and I do have glasses that I could wear for stuff, but I don't, because I actually don't really need them. So I go in, and they check my eyes, and they're like, okay, so we're going to send you for, you have a swollen blood vessel. And oh, this was the other thing. When I would do yoga, if I would do downward dog and have like my head down, and you know, like when the blood rushes to your head, when I would stand up, it would take a minute, I think it was my left eye, for I lost basically like half the vision. So I guess because the blood vessel was swollen, there was more blood flowing. So I had to wait till the blood flowed back down so that I could see. I don't know how it worked or what. Anyway, so they found this swollen blood vessel. I'm like, okay, cool. What do I do with it? And they're like, well, we're going to refer you to a neuro-ophthalmologist. Ophthalmologist? I think that's how you say it. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, what are they going to do? And they're like, they'll just do a bunch of tests, but they're like, it's not like a huge emergency. Like, we're not sending you to Toronto tonight. You'll be there in the next couple of days. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like, I think it's just a swollen blood vessel. Anyways, so long story short, I go down, I get the appointment for a couple days later, which is Halloween. And I had to get like those drops in. So my mom and the boys and I, these young boys, drive downtown Toronto for this appointment with this neuro-ophthalmologist. And anyways, I go in, there's like 1,000,001 questions, and I think there were 6 tests. I think we were there for 3 hours. It was wild. There were 2 doctors in with me, and yeah, so they weren't, I was like determined to get them to just smile. They were very serious. And I was just me. I'm like, okay, cool. So yeah, what's going on? Anyway, so they were like, okay, so possible causes for swollen blood vessels. So we need to send you for an MRI. And I'm like, okay, cool. Why? I'm like, well, to see if there's anything pushing from behind. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like a tumor. Just say it like that. Just like brain cancer. Or like to see if your brain is swelling that's causing it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So they're like, it could be about a 2-month wait for your MRI. So here I am, like, single mom. I was dating someone at the time, but ultimately these boys are mine and my responsibility. And my brain is just like, a brain like, what? So anyways, I dared not Google. I was like, nope. What I did, and I found a photo just online of a clear brain scan. So this is what I wanted to see when they did my MRI. So I found the photo, I saved it so that it was on my phone as the background and as my screensaver. Is that what it's called? My lock screen. There you go. And I left it there. So every time, think about how, actually back then we weren't as ridiculous with our phones, but either way, anytime I looked at that phone or powered it on in the morning, powered it off at night, that's what I saw, was that image. And I just kept intending. I'm like, hey, clear brain scan, clear brain scan, clear brain scan. So someone on a boat being loud, sorry. Anyways, so someone dropped the ball somewhere, and 2 months later I called the office and I'm like, I haven't heard anything. Like, do I have an appointment? So they're like, oh, let us look into it. They look into it and they're like, oh, actually we have the facts here, but it was covered up, like the date and the time were covered, like the ink misprinted or something. So I'm like, okay, well, when is my appointment? I think it was within 2 weeks of that time, which was cool because I didn't have time to stress about it. So they gave me all the lowdown. Here's what you do, all this. Well, they didn't, but I think it was St. Mike's. I had to go back downtown Toronto, which I was fine with. I'm like, take me to Toronto, take me to the people. But my appointment was at like 1 a.m. on a Saturday night. So the guy I was dating at the time, we went down together. But so I get the results shortly after, and they're like, you have IIH. So they come back and they're like, your brain scan is completely clear. And I'm like, yes, of course it is. Of course it is. I know. Thank you. But they're like, you have IIH, which idiopathic. I don't even remember anymore, actually, because it's so long ago. And I got the clear. Like I used to have to go get checked every year, either downtown Toronto or when we moved down here to like to the Hamilton Eye Institute, I believe. I've got released because it's dealt with, it's gone. And throughout that time, so yeah, completely clear, fine. And then idiopathic means it's like there's no symptoms or whatever. So I guess they're like, yeah, the blood, but the only thing they told me was I would have to lose weight. And like, if you know me, I'm not an obese being, and probably what I weigh now, maybe I could have been about 10 pounds less actually then. I was not obese. Obese would never be what you would describe me as. And the doctor was like, well, lose 10 or 20 pounds. I can't remember what he said. And I was like, pardon? And he's like, yeah, because it says here that this idiopathic, whatever IIH, can happen in people who are obese. So how you offset it is you lose weight. And I'm like, okay, sure. So whatever, I took that and did whatever with it because I'm like, sure. Anyways, the whole point is I set that intention. I had that vision on my phone that I looked at and I was like, clear. Can we prove? Was there something there? Did it go away through intention, through meditation? I don't know. Did I lose a few pounds? Yes. Did I have the loss of vision when I would do downward dog? Did that fully come back? Absolutely. Yeah. I went and got checked. I had all the tests every year. Fine, gone, never to return. And there were all sorts of, like, if you look that up and look into it, it's like, oh, it can lead to blindness. It could, like, all the things I researched after. And I was just like, oh. So anyways, all that to say, whoa, a bird just flew like crazy close to the car. Like, phew, felt like it went right by my eye. Oh, that's cool. Like I said, I think it's the left eye as well. Anyways, all that to say that this power of intention, I'm going to do another episode for the other story because that's another story on its own that's about intention. So send the love out, send some rain to the forest fires in Ontario. Just, send healing to our planet, send healing to our people, our First Nations, our Indigenous people who are all over for so many reasons. We need to send healing to this land, which is their land that we are here just hanging out on. So anyways, I won't even go down that rabbit hole, but thank you for listening and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.